The feature day in Melbourne is the Blue Diamond Stakes Day. We've got 5 Group 1s on the card across both states to get to. Let's kick off at Caulfield, though, where it is dry, and we know we'll be racing at least. The rail is in the 3 metre mark. Caulfield's been great so far, hasn't been any bias in the last few weeks. Happy to kick off with the Desesrt Stakes over 1,200 metres, a Group 3 for the 3-year-old boys. Generation starts favourite. Beaver, and you sticking here?
Yeah, I am sticking here. I think it'll be super hard to beat. It was pretty impressive first up. I'm guessing it probably controls the race here, probably take up the lead. If not, sit on the pace, and looks a little bit too good for these. Mars Mission was very good last start and won comfortably at Moonee Valley, but was certainly a much weaker race than this and was favoured by the inside draw. I've got a bit of a watch on Mornington Glory.
I knew you were going to say
very
that.
good first up.
Yeah.
You knew, yeah. And so I'll be keen to see how it resumes. I think it's got a little bit of ability. So I wouldn't rule it out of running a nice race.
Yeah, no, I'm kicking off with Generation as well. I've liked both. Its last 2 wins been pretty tough and impressive, and I think this sets up well for it to, as you said, have control and either lead or lead us back and be very hard to beat. The mannerism is the mare's Group 3 over the 1,400 metres, a small field that we saw probably all beat up a couple of weeks ago. God bless her. She's gone off to retirement now after doing Spendthrift, one of my favourite horses the last few years, a real warrior. So all the best to her.
Likewise here.
So what's left of the field she met, though, is here. And look, I understand why Flying Mascot's on top. I still feel it's a bit short. Probably the one to beat. I thought I came back to Carmelass a little bit, but I've been stung by her before. Last time on a good track, I should say, beat Buffalo River with Brett Preble on second up. But so I was sort of looking out of interest at her, and Rich Hips is a talented horse, but both might just be in a similar jiggy jog race to last time and find it a bit hard to reel them in. What were you thinking here?
Yeah, I tended to agree with you. I thought Flying Mascot was a bit skinny, but I still think it's going to be too good for these. This is not the toughest of races that you'll find, and no probability here. And based off that, again, probably gets the right run in the race here and looks hardest to beat. So I'll stick with the favourite because I think it's the best horse.
Race 3 is the Autumn Classic, another group race for the 3-year-olds over the 2,000 metres. What have you done here?
Yeah, another good race here. Couple in the market here. The favourite looks hard to beat from the Waterhouse stable, but I've settled on Mares at the $8 mark. I'm willing to forgive last run. It was 3 wide and raced ungenerously and sort of pulled, and I think the extra trip here suits. If it could settle a bit better, I think it can run a big race here, and now third up out to the 1,800 suits and could be hardest to beat.
Yeah, cool. I've got Castlereagh Kid on top. I thought it was very brave. I know it's coming from midweek stuff, but just very brave and a bit of a class above coming through there. Gets a nice run here with Oliver getting the lead here. The one that's over the odds is a top weight Lucky Decision. The top number. Lucky Decision, close up to Coast Watch last time, was good. The 2 starts for that, and you're getting $9 there. So I thought might be the each way play in the race. Respect what you said about Mares, but interesting race. Race 4, the 1,400 metre Angus Armanasco Stakes is next for the girls. You found Argentia first up. It's now in gate 1. Does that suit? Is it a concern, or are you happy there?
It is a little bit of a concern, I think. Probably doesn't suit. Look, with the scratching of routes, who would have been coming from Sydney down to Melbourne, I think Argentia now looks probably super hard to beat. Decent rain. I'm not so sure. The main danger could be Forbidden City, who ran well first up.
Yeah. Look, I've got on top. I feel dirty about it because I don't know it's a quiet race, but it might just get a great run here. I think it's explosive enough that can overcome any trouble. And there's not a lot else here that excites me. I think Yearning's a bit of a myth. That 1,000 guineas form, don't know. And I think Mokalua might be one potentially that might do something at next start. But I've got it on top, but without a great deal of comfort here. Race 5 might be the ugliest Peter Young Stakes I can remember in recent memory, over the 1,800 metres. This is an average Saturday race, isn't it? Dressed up as a Group 2 weight for age. So it's left me with Cascadia on the top, just because it's probably going to roll forward under Ollie and lead, and there's not a lot to chase it here. And I don't know what else to say. Delphi, I can't catch. It did have that one very good win, and it's had put in some average runs around it. So a little bit unsure. What about you?
Call sign Mad for me. I thought it was a huge run first up. I thought it just kept finding and finding, and I think again, it was very brave. It'll be on pace here, and I just thought its run was outstanding. It almost should have won that. Earlswood sat on the back of the leader, and Course Map was outside the leader. It hooked off, and Earlswood looked like it was going straight past them, but it kept finding something. And I think here it looks super hard to beat. I'm not a big fan of Cascadian, and Delphi. Well, I think it's got some talent, but resuming here, you'd be backing on speculation. I think Course Mav's a very nice bet.
Okay, cool. I like your clarity there. The first of the Group 1s is the 1,400 metre Futurity Stakes at weight for age, which sees a lot of these come through the Group 1 a couple of weeks ago, which Tefani sort of jiggy-jogged in front and got away with. I really wanted to find his Thunderstruck here, but I thought it was a little bit underwhelming when I watched it back today. Am I getting that wrong?
I think you are.
You're happy to stick?
Yeah, I am going to stick. You shit-canned Tefani last start.
So I'm not tipping Tefani either, so I don't quite know. That's why I'm sort of plotting the race.
I don't think it'll get it all its own way this time in, or I certainly hope it doesn't. Up to the 1,400 here. I thought I'm Thunderstruck. That track, if you go look at every race except Argentia on that day, everything either sat outside the lead, you couldn't lead, sat outside the lead, or sat on the back of the front two, and zipped home and won, except Argentia on the day. I'm Thunderstruck, was back in the field. It was never really going to get into that race, at that quality of race. I thought it stuck to its task okay. It'll be better improved by that, and I'm willing to stick with it based on that.
What do you make of Sierra Sue's run then? I thought that was a great run. Caught wide,
and good run as well.
And obviously beat it home, was in front of it, but was strong through the line. So that's where I was sort of had a little bit of a feel, but at the $10. So I ended up just defaulting to Mo'unga. The first up last prep beat Verry Elleegant. Fresh here, Jamie Carr, and hard to get wrong back in the Savabills in these sort of races, but I had it on top from Sierra Sue. Like I said, I thought was a comparative runs at $10. I think for me is a bet, but when I first picked up the guide to do this, my first thought was it's one of those things that I just had I'm Thunderstruck on top, and I might have overthought a little bit, I would suggest. So Mo'unga and Sierra Sue from me, but Beaver, you're the one in form at the moment, so definitely can argue. Race 7, 1,200 metre Blue Diamond Stakes for the 2-year-olds. I think this is a good race. Not quite sure what to do with it. I have put Sebonaick on top. I really like the debut, like that I was able to ride the pace, and it did that pretty easily there. So happy to have an each way play with it. from Revolutionary Miss, who was a nice enough win there. And we'll see a bit of that form in Sydney later on as well. I believe Lofty Strike's in a bit of doubt, and there's a couple of others. But, the Spendthrift colours on top for me. What have you made of this race?
Yeah, no, I'm sticking with Jacquinot. I thought its run last start was, I think, short of outstanding. Again, it was on a similar track as what we talked about. It came from last on the fence, and was just stuck in traffic. When it did get out, and it was only to the last 100, it was hitting the line better than anything. I think the gate here, it suits. It won't get stuck on the fence in gate 10. It'll get into the running line somewhere. It'll be one off, maybe two off with cover. And I think when they hit the top of the straight here, it will launch and be super hard to beat. And I don't think anything in this race has a bigger finish. So, Jacquinot for me. I think you're right. Sebonaick looks like it's got some talent, and I did like the way it was first up. They're probably the two for me.
Very good. I like your clarity there. The Oakleigh Plate, the 1100 metre sprint Group 1, sees Marabi short price favourite, unbeaten here. Have you got the same sort of clarity here?
Yeah, I do actually. Again, I can't see any reason why, if you're a Marabi fan, that you would move away tipping in this race. Again, drawn gate 2, it gets to sit wherever it wants to sit here, probably just off the pace. It'll hook out in the straight and whoosh on by. Probably, one of my horses here, Bella Nipotina's in, so I'll be keen to see how hit resumes. This is probably one of the better races it started in. Oxley Road's going well, but Marabi here, I just can't find a. If I wanted, if you're looking to go for something else, it's really hard to pinpoint who you would go for. There's plenty of chances: Away Game, Minaj, Wild Rule, Oxley Road, Bella Nipotina. I think you could back any of them. It's just which one would you back if you weren't backing the favourite?
In terms of which one would I back away from it, I've got a little fear, only because I'll probably get 30s on the day. And this is only speculating. To answer that question first, I'll answer this first. Marabi's on top. Very good horse, been running time, been putting gaps in good fields. And the only concern would be if there's too much pace here. There's a lot of pace. I don't want to see it in a speed battle. If that were to happen, and it has been able to pull out of it before, if that were to happen, the two I'd be looking at is Bella Nipotina as a swooper and Ingratiating. But it would be absolute last chance for Ingratiating. Clear air down the outside if they all fell over, similar to the year sort of Worm one and a few of those ones. But that hasn't happened for a long time now. Marabi, best horses seem to have a decent enough record here in the last few years. So on top for me, those other couple can go in the quaddie, maybe with Away Game as well. We wrap up the day with the Mornington Prelude, where I've got to finally a little bit more clarity getting through these quaddie legs. But Desesrt Icon bolted in last time. Very impressive. Thornton sticks, Waller sticks, and I think it'll be very hard to beat in a field with very few chasers. A lot of these no longer really exist. So good way to finish a day with the favourite on top. Anything to add there?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think this looks like a pretty good race for Desesrt Icon, and it's hitting its straps at the right time here. Super hard to beat. It was too good last start, and I expect too good again this start.
Very good. Your Blue Diamond Day Quaddie Beaver. How wide are you going here?
Yes. This is you're going to test me here, aren't you, mate?
I can do the best in value I ever think, if you like.
No. It's all good.
Go for it.
I'm going to go numbers in the first leg. Number 1, I'm Thunderstruck. Number 3, Monga. And number 4, Stefane. I think the winner will come from those 3. When we get to the Blue Diamond Stakes, I'm going to go number 2, Lofty Strike. Number 4, Sebonaick. Number 6, Jacquinot. Number 12, Miss Rosianna, and number 15, Waltz On By.
Yep.
Third leg, I'm going to go number 1, Wild Ruler, number 4, Bella Nipotina, number 5, Marabi, and number 7, Away Game. And to
What about
finish the
Minhaj
day,
there? I know we're sort of
I'm
speculating.
going to leave it out.
Done. Cool.
First up. And to finish the day, I'm going number 5, Desesrt Icon, and number 8, Wycliffe.
Fantastic. For progretracing.com.au, check them out for their free tips, extensive guides, as well as sign up for their mailing list to get our show in your inbox every Friday morning. Your best and value at Caulfield.
My best is race 9, number 5, Desesrt Icon. And my value bet is race number 7, number 6, Jacquinot. I think you'll get $6 on the day, if not better.
I agree. I think that whole field you can back that field each way, I suspect. My best on the day is Desesrt Icon as well. So just to give you something different, I'll add Generation into a top and tail. The favourites in the first and last, and my value. I'll make it Sebonaick in the diamond, around a $7 or $8 mark. I think can give you a nice each way sight. We head up to Randwick for another day of Group 1 racing there. It is very wet in Sydney. We have copped some rain, so fingers crossed it all gets through safely. We kick off with the highway. I don't know what the unders and overs is on scratchings for Saturday Beaver, but we might be copping a few.
Yeah.
The 1,000-metre highway kicks us off here, which I'm happy to skip if you are.
Happy to skip, mate.
Race 2 is the Midway, 1,100 metres. What are you doing here?
Mate, the top weight here, Delexo, is a pretty good bet. Really happy to take the $4.50 here. It was absolutely certainty beat last start. It was the worst ride ever from J-Mac. Got stuck on the fence. It should have won, in my view, and I'm quite surprised that it's at $4.40 here. Gets the 6 gate, won't get stuck. That was on soft going. It's won before on the soft. I think it'll be okay handling the track. Yeah, number 1, Delexo on top for me.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's not favourite. On top as well, keen on it last time. You've highlighted that quite well, and 440 looks pretty good to me. I thought the Main Danger, which is third in the market at the moment, Mayrose was pretty good return, and the cat of the ground probably suits there. But Delexo might have a march on this, and we have seen some of these days where it is really heavy at Randwick. It's been tough to. You tend to either get last man standing days where they come really wide, or you get days where it's hard to make ground. So Delexo might have that march on them here. Race 3 is the Sweet Embrace for the 2-year-olds. I was reading there's every chance that Coolangatta won't be here. So for now, we'll tip as if she was. I'd probably be happy for her to be here because I'd probably be happy to bet against her in the wet right now. But what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think you could be right there. If they're a bit unsure about it, then maybe it just doesn't handle the going. Look, if you're looking horses that'll handle the going and got good form, you've got to be hard to go past Lady Laguna.
Mm-hmm.
Should handle the going. Bolted in last time on a rain effect track. Extravagant Star looks like it handles it as well, but I'm going to go for Lady Laguna here.
I've got Laguna on top too. Yeah, that win too starts back on the heavy, just controlled it, bolted away, and looked to get through it very well. Nice return, again, behind a decent enough horse who ran okay last week, and never really going. Trial since as well, ticked her over, and she looked good in that as well. And it's now, and Bowman goes on, who's riding well. So lots of ticks for me to like Lady Laguna. Interesting one. The only other one I was sort of interested in was Firebird. No real reason apart from Dad like the wet. So in Rebel Dane, but Lady Laguna on top for me. The Skyline is race 4 with the 2-year-old boys this time. I struggled in this race. I wasn't quite sure which way to go, and ended up with a man in the mirror on top. Thought the first up win was okay. Trial beat Paris Dior, who had a spruik on it from there. And trial since was good. Comes here, but as usual, we'll know more after the race. Did you have any better thoughts?
No better thoughts. I had exactly the same thought.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I went for Man in the Mirror. I thought it could run well. I've liked what I've seen so far. And as if you're looking for danger, El Padrino's got some form on some rain affected going and in decent company. This could set up okay for it as well. But Man in the Mirror for me.
The other one that sort of caught my a little bit was Custodian. One trial into this JMac, and sort of
I did like it. I was just unsure about.
Just out of nowhere. I was like, I was first up on a heavy, but I was like, what's it doing popping up here more than anything? Was my thought there. Race 5, the Liverpool City Cup, is next on the card. We see Quantico returning here, where I don't quite understand why it's here at 1,300 metres first up after some brilliant sprint wins and on a heavy. If any, it may not even resume, to be honest. But so it wasn't quite.
It'll start, mate.
So so I wasn't quite sure what to do with it. As a result, I didn't quite know where to go next. I defaulted to Ellsberg, who goes okay in the wets, will roll forward and be close enough to the pace. But outside of wanting to pot Quantico, I wanted to obviously pot Alligator Blood, and I had not much more to say, so I didn't go where to look third. What do you make of it?
Well, mate, I've landed on Hillsberg as well. If you have a look at it, it has an unbeaten record fresh. So it's had a bit of a spell bouncing, coming back here. It's had 2 starts on heavy, a win in a second, and 3 on a soft for 2 seconds in a third. So should handle the going okay. We know it'll be on pace. It's pretty much bomb proof. You can ride it sort of anywhere in that sense. Ellsberg's going to be super hard to beat here.
Oh, good. Great minds, as they say. The 1,400 meter guy Walter is next for the Group 2 for the mares. Ice Bath is a bit of the story of the rest of this day here. I'm not sure about it in the absolute heavy, but I think it's very hard to beat. I also wasn't quite sure where to go next. So I've put Promise of Success on top, a nice enough resumption, gets through the wet okay, and has some pretty good stuff against its name, because some of the ones at the top of the field I'm sort of done with. So lightly raced, half wet tracker that I'm happy to back each way in Promise of Success, respecting the favourite. What have you done?
Yeah, look, similar here. Ice Bath was I was a bit unsure at the price and in the genuine heavy, and I think at $2.35 I wasn't willing to back it, so I went around it on that basis, and I come up with Promise of Success. Outside of Ice Bath, who looks to be the horse that has the best form in this race in better company, it's a pretty weak race, to be honest. Promise of Success was putting away some mediocre fields last year, but resumed against the likes of Snap Dancer, who's a pretty good horse, and has some excellent form on the wet going here, Promise of Success. So I think it might handle the going the best, and it might finish over the top of them.
Yeah, again in accord there. We haven't even discussed this, so that's good. We've had a bit of luck when we find these sort of horses when we're a little bit in doubt. The Group 1 Chipping Norton Stakes, it kicks off the quaddie. The clash again of Think It Over and Verry Elleegant. What do you make of Verry Elleegant first up, and is it time now, or are you unsure?
Well, it was given no chance first up. They weren't trying. It was out in second, third last, and it was stuck on the fence. And I thought it finished off quite nicely in the run. Think of Over pulled to the outside and was cherry ripe and ready to go. The big shout out here is that I'm not so sure Think It Over wants the Royal Heavy going, and we know Verry Elleegant and Colette do. So based on that, you got to look to either one of those. who's the better horse. Very Elleegant for sure, and probably doesn't lose too much in regards to it being heavy going. So for me, Very Elleegant on top, Colette hardest to beat.
I've got Verry Elleegant on top. I think it's clearly a better horse than Colette. And yeah, you summed up the first up run. I sort of agree. It was a buy or a barrier trial. Too far back and gets a better setup here. They're going to like the gate. They'll go forward from there instead and be hard to beat. Thought the horse that I'm going to back for a place, as I always do, is Montefilia. Great prep last time. She resumed running third by Think It Over in the same sort of setup this time last prep, and I think it's a little bit forgotten here at the 20s. So I think it can run a place and give you a sight. And you're right that Think It Over probably doesn't want to bog, but horse is flying. Race 8 is the surround for the now 3-year-olds. They were probably 3-year-olds last spring, to be honest. Where I'm surprised that Fangirl is still not favourite. I know it's coming off the SP, but I'm happy. I like the winner, Fangirl. Happy to stick with it. I like Boom going on. I think it's going to get, by this time, be able to get clear air down the middle of the track, and the Seabrings go right in the wet. So sticking here was almost all honours, I thought, over Espiona. So am I reading that wrong?
Oh, I thought Fangirl had to sit on its back the whole time, and Espiona was a bit keen and was wide the whole way. I thought
A little bit arrogant on Espiona.
Yeah, I think that's right. Although I just think it got stuck through wide and couldn't get in, and it just took a bit of zip out of its legs for that sprint. Again, it's drawn wide in 13, but Fangirl's got 16. But there'll probably be a few scratching in this now, so you'll probably find Espiona starts in sort of that 9 or 10 gate. They'll really suit. You'll probably get a bit better price on the day. I think they'll be a little bit closer in the market, but I'm going to stick with Espiona just in front of Fangirl. Another great race.
Excellent. Race 9 is a benchmark 88 with all of our old favourites here. Are you giving Yee chance number 4? You're done?
No, that's
if
done.
You would.
It's done. It's gone. No chance. Can't win.
I put on top is little line finder. Arctic Thunder likes the wet, likes to stick her head out and beat a few of these last time and double figure odds. So on top for me, under Jason Collett, who does like riding on the wet tracks as well. Only because I just penned everything attached to Yee. So that was the thinking there. And what do you do with I'll give you some tips first of all. What do you do with the other Ascot import here with JMac on Chalkstream?
Yeah, no. I thought Outlandis was pretty good last start.
It was pretty good.
I controlled the race in front and really never looked like getting beat. They just took it to the field and it went well. Again, hasn't never been tried on the heavy, but has one on the soft going. Back from 2400 to 2000 is probably the main concern for me, but I'm willing to stick with it. And I've put Through Irish Eyes as the main danger. I did tip it first up. I think it worked home okay. I think this horse will continue to improve. Had some good form in Melbourne last prep. I think as they step up in distance, it'll keep improving and wasn't too far behind your Arctic Thunder last start. So I've got Hit as the main danger, but certainly the step up to 2000, it will appreciate. They're the two for me.
Beauty. And we're wrapping up the day with a benchmark 88 sprint, where I'll wrap up the day with the favourite on top. Mautai returned and dominated a good field, a decent enough field there. Meets a similar field here. Only concern is a heavy going, but I think it's got these covered again and have it on top as the market suggests. Doing the same?
I'm not so sure. Look, I think this is a little bit of a tricky affair. Gravina goes well on the soft going, so that certainly gives me some concern there to the favourite, and I think the Bopper's still going pretty good. It ran less than half a length behind Rule of Law last start, and Rule of Law is just flying at the moment. And prior to that, less than a length behind Mr. Mosaic, who just fought like a dogged lion there, and but won well first up. So look, I think the Bopper is, a definite chance in this. So I'll put the Bopper on top. Certainly very scared of the other two. I think any three of those can win. Anything outside of that's no chance.
Cool. Let's get the Randwick Quaddie. I'm going to kick off with one Think It Over. I tossed up leaving out, but I'll put it in to be safe. 8 Verry Elleegant, 9 Colette, 10 Montefilia. Second leg, 3 Fangirl, 6 Jamea, 7 Espiona. Yep, nothing down there. Third leg, 5 Labau, 6 Arctic Thunder, 8 Mr. G, 9 Outlandos. Yeah, I'll leave Irish Eyes out. I've been wrong before. And we'll come home with 3, 4, and 5. That would be the Bopper, Gravina, and Mautai. For Pro Group Racing, Beaver, your best and value.
Yeah, my best bet comes up in race 8, number 7, Espiona. I think he'll be bouncing back. And my value bet comes up in race 6, number 11, Promise of Success.
Very good. I'm going to make my best Delexo in the midway. And my value will be... Where's he gone? I'll make it Arctic Thunder in a 2,000-metre race. I think can run well. Run well there. Now, I don't know if they're going to even get on in Queensland. Is there anything up there?
Yeah, I've got a couple for us up there. Race 6, number 2, Marabi. Good value. Race 7, number 8, Jeswa Bell at the $4 mark. And one after you, Daggy, race 8, number 9, Maybe the Best.
Maybe the best. Je suis belle. And maybe the best there at wherever they're racing. Doomben. Hopefully the weather holds up there. Good punting on the weekend, guys. A fantastic day of racing all around Australia. Good luck this weekend, Beaver. Good luck tomorrow. I'll see you for a bit of Supercoach fun tomorrow night before the races.
Yes.
And we'll talk shortly.
Looking forward to it.
Good luck, guys. Catch you next week.
Cheers, mate.